YouTubers, family and friends. Edward here, coming to you from the deep jungle of the Philippines. And today's a special day. As of today, now we're cattle ranchers. Not only goat farmers, but now we're cattle ranchers. So we do got a lot of work to do as far as fencing and that kind of stuff. But for now, we got, we got the fencing on order, and I got a water drop back here. We're going to replumb that for water for the cow. It's just only one cow as of now. And then we got these 3 goats, of course. And I'll show you guys the cow real quick. We just brought him in. I wanted to make a video of bringing them in, but spaced it out. So sorry guys. So let's move this across here real quick. And there's the cow. The goats want to get out and start eating some more, but they're done for the day. I let them graze for like 8 to 10 hours a day, but there's the cow. It's a heifer. It's like 1.5 years old, never had its own calves yet. But it's in real good shape. I mean, and for a native cow, it looks real fattened up. It must be getting lots to eat. But that's, 1.5 years old, and I just put out the word with my cousins, which is Lilibeth's relatives, and he found this real nice 1.5 year old heifer. And we had to go through the jungle because she got real anxious right by the road. So my brother-in-law, Nonoy, walked her all the way from across so probably close to 3 kilometers. He walked her through the jungle, partly on the road. We had to go across the bridge to get across the river, which was pretty crazy. But every time a motorcycle or car went by, it started getting jumpy right by the road, and sometimes it would take off trying to go in front of a motorcycle. So yeah, it was kind of dangerous a couple different times, but that's why we had to stick to the jungle as much as we could. And now she's getting used to her new home. Once I just ordered that new bar and chain. I'll cut up the rest of this log, and then we're gonna burn this pile here too over the next couple of days if the weather stays warm and dry. Maybe if it stays good all day tomorrow, maybe toward the evening we're gonna burn this, depending on what the weather's doing. So yeah, I'm excited. We paid, and I looked on the internet before we bought it, and I had my wife to negotiate, which she doesn't know anything about cows or what the prices should be or anything. And of course they always want the higher price, and if the beast looks good to me, then I won't dicker with the price, because I feel that I want to support the local economy with giving the locals a good price for their livestock, so I can get my head of cattle and my goats a good head start. And that's the best thing to do. And so I paid the top price for this young heifer, 25,000 pesos. Now the going price is anywhere from a minimum of 15,000 for a real scrawny and bad shaped heifer to between 20 and 25,000 is the high. It's supposed to be a 1.5 year old heifer that's pregnant with her first child, which maybe this one is. It could possibly be, because of the size and how filled out it is. It's possible this heifer could be pregnant with its first child. That's what I'm starting to think now, the more I get to look at her. But they didn't say that she was pregnant, but she very well could be with her first calf. But I don't know, and obviously we're gonna see. And I ain't. This is the first cow I've ever owned in my life, right? I mean, my brother had some cows. He had, as far as I know, my younger brother had some Scottish Highlanders, and he had nothing but trouble. And they'd break his fence line down all the time. And he eventually, the last time they got out, they go into neighbors, farmers' land and raise hell, and he had to shoot them on the spot and kill them and butcher them within a 3-day period there. It was a nightmare for him. So my dad had cows on his property for a while in northern Minnesota, there in the U.S., and I don't know if he was just leasing his land to another farmer or if those cows were his. I only, as a child, we had lots of chickens and ducks and stuff like that, but we never had any, and we had a couple goats for a while. We never had any cattle that we butchered, except for one time that I can remember that we had a cow that a mobile butcher came over and shot the cow and then strung it up on the back of his truck on a couple beam poles, so he could take his electric winch and winch the whole thing up after he field dressed it, and just butchered it right there, right in front of us, and cut it up and packaged it up right in front of us for a certain price, right? And we had meat of a whole cow there for, and that lasted a year or so. So this is my first attempt. This is my first cow I've ever owned. So that's the future, and you have to be self-sufficient. So this is the track that you should be setting your sights on if you want self-sufficiency for the future of the way this world's going right now. Like I say, you get your food stocks, and I got food stocks that last well over a year, close to 2 years right now, with freeze-dried and some stuff that I canned on my own, some stuff that was in manufactured canned foods. I got some MREs. I got my own water well. We live right next to a creek. One of my pieces of property, a kilometer and a half away, is the same creek that's over here, but that's further down to the north, and that's free running water. That's all you'd have to do is boil it and filter it if it got that bad where I couldn't get water out of my well. I got solar. I got batteries. I started to order the batteries, and I'm not going to order any more than 4 that I did order until I get them and I test them out. And if they test out good and I like what I see, then I'll order 12 more. And then I'll have 16 3.2 volt 280 amp hour batteries, lithium ion sulfate batteries, and then you put them in series. And I did order a battery inverter, inverts DC power from the batteries to AC, and I already got my electrician lined up, and I'm ordering kind of like the other little parts right now that I need, wire and switches and fuses and breakers, stuff like that I need to set the whole system up. But it's not going to be attached to my other solar system I got right now. Right now I have on my main breaker, 200 amp breaker, I got a switch that I can switch to my generator off the grid. So turn the grid off like in a blackout, and I switch over the generator. Well, I'm gonna get a Y off of that line going to my generator, right? And then that's going to be a 3-way switch. One, I can either go to the battery bank or I can go to the generator. One or the other, right? So it's my choice. And then that, I don't have any solar panels to charge those batteries right now. because I'm going to depend on just having the grid charge those batteries at this point in the game, right? And if it gets so bad where the whole grid goes down for long periods of time, I can take the panels I have, solar panels, and convert it over to my batteries to charge them and just use my battery bank, right? So those are the kind of things you got. I don't want to do overkill on panels because I already got 34 panels, and I can use those in a complete grid down long period situation. I can hook them to my batteries and go that route. But for now, during the daytime when I have lots of free power on good sunny days, and even on cloudy days, I have well enough power to run a generator and all the other electrical things I have, except for the pool. I can't run the pool and the laundry facility on a cloudy day. On a sunny day, I can run everything and still have power to boot. And then at those times is when I'll just use the grid to charge my batteries because it's all free power anyways. And then at night, I'll just switch that breaker off, go into charging my batteries, and I think I can either use those batteries to run my air conditioner at night if I want, or lights at night or whatever. So my power bill is even going to go down further than it is right now. And even right now, I'm close to zero. So this is kind of things you need to look for on a homestead. There's all the things that you need to slowly build up over the years. You know, and the next thing, the only thing really I got to do now, once I get good fencing and everything for the cows and the goats, is just to expand those herds. And then I got chickens. That's my last one I need to get. So that's it for now, guys. But just showing you, I'm real proud of this beautiful heifer. 1.5 years, and I'm going to look for a hybrid bull to breed her in the next 6 months. Let her get used to her home for a while before I introduce her to a bull. So that's it for now, guys. I love you. Take care. And as always, I love you. Why? Because my Father in heaven loves you, and Jesus Christ loves you, and he commands that brothers love each other, brethren, which means your neighbor. So I love you guys. Take care, and God bless as always. Bye-bye.